Assalamu alaikum class 7. How are you all? I hope that you are all doing well and enjoying a very good life and a good health. Alright class, today we are going to start our comprehension lesson number 7, first part, and this is our 53rd lecture. Now you know that the situation hasn't improved much about this COVID-19, the coronavirus, and it is still prevalent, it is still persistent, this problem, this virus. So hopefully inshallah the schools are going to open soon, but we cannot just wait. We have been taking things very slow and slow and easy for your ease and for your comfort, but we need to we need to quicken the pace, we need to move up. All right. So what I want to tell you is, please try to keep your pace with us with the lectures, and I'm going to make it very easy for you. You're going to have no trouble at all. Just pay attention to the lectures. If you are unclear, if there is any ambiguity, anything which is not clear, so you can watch that video again and again. And when I am talking to you, please listen clearly to my instructions and just be very attentive, and you are going to have no trouble at all in these lectures and in solving the exercises or writing the answers of these questions. So we just need to improve our pace. All right. We are going to increase the pace a bit. All right. So we are going to do comprehension, open your understand and communicate, book number 2. All right class, we are going to do the 7th lesson today. But before we start our reading, I would like to share the words meanings, right? Before we move ahead, we move on with our lectures. Let's first read out the meanings of new and complicated words, so that when I start the lecture, when I start reading, you will have no trouble in understanding or comprehending the meanings of the words. So this is our 7th lesson, right? Name of the lesson is fallacies about food. What is fallacy? Let's find out from the words meanings. Fallacy means which is something which is not true, which is false, a mistaken idea, which is not true, incorrect, right? Primitive. Primitive means very old, ancient times, old times, right? Primitive, old, ancient. Cannibalism. Cannibals are those people who eat other human beings. So those human beings who eat other humans are called cannibals. But this also applies to animals as well. So cannibalism is that um, this term is used for those humans or animals which feed on or which eat the other animals of their own kind, of the same kind, right? A man eating a man is called cannibal. Eager means excited, enthusiastic, right? Very excited. Civilized, we belong to a civilized era, right? We are civilized. Why? How are we civilized? We are more cultured, more polished, more refined, right? We are more refined, polished, cultured. We are compared to the primitive people, right? Old people. Okay. Supplied, number 6. Supplied is to provide with something, to supply, the supply of food, the supply of anything, supplying something, to give, provide something, give something. Widespread, something which is spread widely, which is far reaching, which has spread far off and far, and spread far, right? Substitute means to take the place of something else, or something has taken the place of something else, you replaced it. To replace something. Replacement, to take the place of something. Chew, when we eat our food, when we eat, for example, if you are eating an apple or a sandwich, we chew the food. We chomp on the food. So chew means to bite, to chomp. It is an act of eating, right? Digestive, when we eat our food, we take it and we digest it, right? Through our digestive system, helps us in digesting the food. Digestive is help in digestion of food, right? Absorption of food. Absorption of food is called digesting, right? How we absorb the food, how we have, there's a whole digestive system for it. All right, foundation. Foundation means basis, the base, the ground of something, the base, the footing, the ground, the basis. General, something which is common, which is prevailing or which is in the majority for the public. All right, general. Something which is not not for the specific but in general, generally, right? For the public, for the majority of people, for the common people, right? Which is prevailing, which is happening nowadays, going on. Curdle, you probably know that how yogurt is made. It is how yogurt, the milk is curdled first, and it becomes a yogurt, right? All right, so curdle means we all like to eat yogurt with rice, especially, right? Or we or to make different dishes as well with it. So curdle means to form curd, which is called yogurt. But it also means when obviously when we are making yogurt, we are spoiling the milk, right? To make something become sour, right? Spoil to form curd, yogurt, right? To spoil curdle can in one way it means to make a curd, to make yogurt. And another means it can mean to spoil something or make sour. Indigestible, something which cannot be digested, which cannot be absorbed, right? Combination is a mixture or result of combining, by mixing two or more things, by combining, what you get is called a mixture. Proteins, they are naturally occurring substance. They are natural substance, right? They are nitrogenous materials. Carbohydrates, they are any of the various neutral compounds. The neutral compounds of it, carbo, just remember carbon, from carbohydrates, hydrogen and oxygen, right? Carbohydrates, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So it is made from any of the different neutral compounds, and neutral compounds of oxygen, carbon and hydrogen. For example, like sugar, starch, etc. Chiefly, mainly, mostly, generally, principally. So I am going to provide you with these words meanings as well. So please read them out first, read the meanings of these words, so that when I am going to read that paragraph, that passage, the different paragraphs or the whole passage, you will have no trouble at all in understanding what I am trying to say, in comprehending the vocabulary. All right, so please read out these meanings well. In fact, read them again and again. Try to comprehend the words, their meanings. Try to learn them. Alright? Now let's move on to our seventh lesson. So you know that I have provided you the meanings of seventh lesson. The lesson is about fallacies about food. I have told you that fallacy means a false ideas, incorrect, not true, right? Something false ideas related to food. Now class, let's look at the picture. What do you see? You can see there's a tall man and he is carrying a deer and he is running with the deer. You know that deer is very fast, right? Very quick on its feet. So what does it tell you? Fallacy means something which is not true, incorrect, right? False, a false idea. So fallacy about food, and this in the picture you can see a man. He's trying to hold the deer. He's trying to run like the deer. So do you think fallacy about food means that people they used to think that if they are going to eat deer, they are going to run like a deer? Do you think that is what it means? Fallacy, false, wrong ideas about the food. If they eat a deer, they are going to run like a deer. If they eat a tiger, they are going to be as strong as a tiger. Do you think that is what they used to think? Let's find out. Fallacies about food. Many primitive peoples believed that by eating an animal, they could get some of the good qualities of that animal for themselves. Primitive is old. We use peoples. Commonly we say people. Peoples, means people belonging to different areas, different nations, different places, right? So we use the plural peoples. Primitive is old. They believe that if they ate an animal, they would get some of the good qualities in them. Like for example, I said a deer runs fast, they will run fast like a deer. They will become strong like a cheetah, right? Or a tiger, or a lion. They thought, for example, that eating deer would make them fleet like the deer. Fleet is run quickly. Cannibals believed that eating enemies that had shown bravery in battle would make them brave. My god, can you just imagine? Cannibals are man eating man, right? They thought that if they ate the enemy, they would be as brave as their enemies. Do you think it is true? That is why they became cannibals. They used to eat their enemy, thinking that, "Oh, wow, my enemy is brave. If I eat that and my enemy, I will that foe of mine. I will also become as brave as my foe, my enemy, my opponent." Do you think it's true? Cannibalism may have started because people were eager to become as strong and brave as their enemies. So maybe that is why they become cannibals, why the process of cannibalism was started, because they thought they were eager was enthusiastic, excited to become as strong and brave as their enemies. Alright, among civilized people, it was once thought that ginger root, by some magical power, could improve the memory. They thought that the root of a ginger, when we make food in Pakistan, we put spices and we put ginger and garlic and ginger. So they thought that the root of ginger had some magical powers. Even civilized people, which are the culture defined, polished people, they thought that it could improve their memory. Eggs were thought to make the voice pretty. They thought that if they ate eggs, their voice would become pretty. Tomatoes also were believed to have magical powers. They were called love apples and were supposed to make people who ate them fall in love. Tomatoes were called love apples. So they thought that if people who eat tomatoes, they are going to fall in love. It's going to make them fall in love. So it was just a myth, right? It's a fallacy, a myth, that tomatoes were called love apples. Sorry, not a myth. A myth is something which is not true. It was a fallacy, right? Fallacy is something which is a wrong idea. Myth is something which is, which can be true or which is, not really true. It's an old saying, forwarded from, transferred from one generation to the other, to the other, to the other. And so on, it becomes a myth. It's a fallacy that some people thought that they were magical love apples. Okay, come to the next paragraph. Later, another false idea about tomatoes grew up, the idea that they were poisonous. First, they thought they were love apples, one nation, and then, some other people, other, nation or some other area, the people belonging to some other area, they thought that tomatoes are poisonous. And what did they do? So, just I'm going to read out how surprised the people who thought tomatoes poisonous would be if they could know that millions of tins of tomatoes were supplied to soldiers overseas during World War II. Just imagine that these tomatoes are supplied to soldiers, in millions of tins during the World War II. And how surprised would they be, find if they knew that people thought that tomatoes are poisonous. So different areas, the people belonging to different areas, they have their own, own fallacies about the food. First, some, there was one nation or one kind or types of people who thought they were, magical apples. They were called love apples, these tomatoes. And another group of people, they thought that they are poisonous, right? Now, even today, next paragraph, even today there are a great many mistaken ideas, fallacies about food. Some of them are very widespread, spread widely, far reached, spread, in far off places. One such idea is that fish is the best brain food. There are still many fallacies about the food and people still believe in them. fish is the best brain food. So they think that if you eat fish, your brain is going to function, perfectly in an excellent manner. It is the best food for the brain. Fish is good brain food just as it is good muscle food and skin food and bone food. So people used to think that fish is good for the brain, for the muscle, for the skin and bones. But no one has been able to prove that fish is any better for the brain than any many other kinds of food. But people used to think that, but still think that, but it hasn't been proven yet, right? That fish is better than any other food for your brain, for your skin, for your muscles and bones. Next paragraph. Another such idea, second last paragraph of this page. Another such idea is that you should not drink water with meals. This is also a fallacy. Washing food down with water as a substitute for chewing is not a good idea. But some water with meals has been found to be helpful. Some people say that it's very bad not to drink water with meals. It can it's it's not really harmful. In a way people think it's kind of a fallacy. But still, if you're trying to wash down your food with water, it is also not a good idea. But there are some meals which need food, which need water to be washed down. So for some meals it is important, it is helpful to wash down with water. It makes the digestive juices flow more freely and helps to digest the food. So the digestive juices are able to flow freely, and it helps in the digestion as well, right? So it's saying that it's not a good idea to drink water with meals. It does have some side effects, but it's not really that harmful. But in fact, in some meals it is very important. It's helpful to digest your food. Alright, last paragraph of this page. Many of the ideas which scientists tell us have no foundation. Have to do with the mixtures of food. So there are many scientists who are talking about the mixture of foods. They are based on no foundation. There is no grounding, no basis, no footing on which they have laid these claims that some mixtures of foods are harmful. It hasn't been proven yet, right? A few years ago, the belief became general. Belief became general. It was widespread. It became common. It became prevalent. It became public. The belief became public, right? Became general. It became public that orange juice and milk should never be drunk at the same meal. That whenever you're eating, don't drink orange juice and milk at the same time. The reason given was that the acid in the orange juice would make the milk curdle and become indigestible. The scientists gave the reason that don't drink orange juice with milk because the orange juice, there's an acid in the orange juice, it's going to make the milk curdle, make it spoil the milk, make it sour, spoil it or turn into a yogurt, and that's going to become indigestible, hard to digest, not easy to digest. To absorb, digest means absorption of food. As a matter of fact, the curding of many milk, all right. As a matter of fact, milk always meets in the stomach a digestive juice which curdles it. In fact, when the milk is drunk, gobbled down, it has been drunk, what happens? When it enters the stomach, it meets a digestive juice. What does that juice do? It curdles it, it spoils it, it makes it sour, right? It curdles it, makes it sour, it spoils it. The curdling of the milk is the first step in its digestion. So people used to think that don't drink, orange juice with milk because the acid in the orange juice is going to curdle the milk and it's going to be difficult to digest. Whereas when the milk enters the stomach, it meets a digestive juice which helps to curdle it. And what happens? This is the first step in digestion. So it's a fallacy to say that it does not aid in digestion, makes it indigestible, is a fallacy, right? A similar false idea is that fish and ice cream, when eaten at the same meal, form a poisonous combination. Even this is a fake idea, incorrect idea. This is a fallacy. that people think that fish and ice cream should not be eaten at the same time. It is not a poisonous mixture. Come to page number 36, the last paragraph. Still another wrong idea about mixing foods is that proteins and carbohydrates should never be eaten at the same meal. So it is again a wrong idea, a raw fallacy that proteins and carbohydrates should not be mixed when you are eating something. Many people think of bread, for example, as a carbohydrate food. It is chiefly a carbohydrate food. Carbohydrate is something which is, like starch or sugar. It's a neutral compound made from carbon from oxygen, right? All right. So, it also, but bread is a carbohydrate, chiefly, mainly, mostly it is a carbohydrate, and but it is also does it also contains proteins. It also has proteins in it. So a bread has both carbohydrates and proteins, and they are taken. It's when we eat bread, we are eating both carbohydrates and proteins at the same time. So it's a fallacy not to eat them at the same time. All right. In the same way, milk, probably the best single food, contains both proteins and carbohydrates. So it is just as foolish to say that one should never eat meat and potatoes, just like bread. Milk also, which is the best single food, considered the best thing. It contains both proteins and carbohydrates. It is just as foolish to say that one should never eat meat and potatoes together as it is to say that one should never eat bread or drink milk. So meat and potatoes can be eaten when we eaten together as well. It's just a fallacy. So class, what have you learned? There are many fallacies about the food, false ideas, mistaken ideas. Primitive old people used to think that if you anything you eat, you will get their you will acquire their good qualities. Like if you eat a deer, you will run like a deer. Eat a tiger, you become strong like a tiger. Or if eat if you ate your enemies, your foes became a cannibal. A man eating a man, you will acquire their good qualities. That is all a fallacy, which is untrue. Civilized people, even thought that ginger root had magical power for improving your memory. Eggs can make your voice beautiful. Tomatoes were called love apples. They thought they can help you falling in love, and then later on they thought that tomatoes were poisonous. They can kill you as well. And even today there are many fallacies, many mistaken ideas related to your food, and they are widespread. They are spread widely. They are spreading on far off places. Generally, like they think that fish is good for your skin, your memory, your bones. It is also a fallacy, that there is no proof that fish is more beneficial than other types of food. And then they say that don't drink water with meals. It can have some side effects, it can have some unhealthy effects, but it is not really harmful, right? It's not really harmful. In fact, there are some meals with which you need water to wash it down, to just digest them, right? All right. And scientists, say many things which have no foundation, no basis, no footing, no grounding, no ground, no footing. Like we should not mix foods. They thought that orange juice and milk should not be mixed because it will curdle the milk, and it will not become indigestible. Whereas when the milk enters the stomach, it needs a digestive, so it needs a digestive juice which curdles it, spoils it, right? And it helps in digestion. In fact, it's the opposite of what was scientists said. And then they say fish and ice cream should not be eaten together, it becomes poisonous, which is incorrect. There are many fallacies, many wrong ideas, and one of them is that don't mix proteins and carbohydrates, which is incorrect. Bread and milk contains both carbohydrates and proteins, and they are not harmful. And all right. So I have read this passage. I have explained the meanings. I have explained the passage as well, and I also revised the passage, this chapter, this lesson for you. Please open your Exercise number A, meaning in context. So, what you have to do, I will do two for you, right? I'll make it easy for you so you will have no trouble at all. Pick out single word from the passage which mean the same as the following. I will do number A and I will do H, right? Quick moving. So you have to find out the single words from the passage which mean the same thing as mentioned here. Quick moving means to move very fast. Paragraph 1. So quick moving means in the first paragraph you're going to find quick moving. So where is the word quick moving? Sorry, this is the first paragraph. Okay, it means to fleet. Quick moving means fleet. It come to the third line that eating deer would make them fleet like the deer. Quick moving fleet, right? All right. Number B, people who eat human flesh. I have told you, man who eats man, animals who eats man of the animals of the same kind. They are called. I have told you. Listen to my lecture. C, refined. I have told you what is refined, cultured, polished. I have told you. D, replacement. I have also, you will find the meaning or refined and effacement in the words meanings. E, basis. Basis, you will find it in the words meanings as well. F, to form into lumps. Paragraph number 7. First paragraph, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Seventh paragraph, the word is to form into lumps. Seventh paragraph. So, what becomes lumpy? When a milk curdles, it becomes, it makes lumps, right? It becomes lumps. So, curdle means to form lumps, right? To form into lumps, curdle. G, difficult to dissolve in the stomach. I have told you this difficult to absorb, difficult to dissolve, difficult to digest, find out. H, body building substances in foods. Paragraph number 8. Body building substance in food. What do you think it is? Proteins or carbohydrates? What builds your body? Body building substance in food. It is proteins, right? I told you I will do this one. Proteins are the body building substances in food. I, starchy foods. Starches, carbohydrates, right? They're called starchy foods as well. J, silly. Paragraph number 8. You will find it in the last paragraph, silly, in the last few lines. Alright, class, you are going to do it on your book. Let's make it easier for you. You're going to draw lines in front of these phrases, or in front of these words and phrases, and you're going to draw a line and then you're going to write the word. Pick the word from the passage and write in front of these words on your understand and communicate book number 2, right? Come to the second part. Second part, you have to explain each expression as used in the passage. Fall in love. I explained fall in love means to make someone to be in love, to make someone love someone else, right? To fall in love, to be in love. A great many. So what does it mean, a great many? It's on line number 18. Let's come to the 18th line. Can you find out the 18th line? It is, you will find it in the fourth paragraph. The word is, we are looking for the word, we are looking for the word in 18th line, great many, a great many. So it is I told you you're going to find it in the fourth paragraph, right? A great many. What do you think the great many means over here? Please try to find out. Another idea is that you should not drink water with meals. Washing down with water as substitute for chewing is not a good idea. But some water with meals has been found to be helpful. It makes the digestive juices flow more freely. Um, if you're looking for the 18th line, sorry, I missed on the first paragraph. So a great many means it's in this paragraph, right? Can you please find out? It's on this paragraph on the fourth paragraph. A great many, a great many. So, uh, even today there are a great many mistaken ideas. A great many over here means, what does it mean? A great many. A great many means there are many, lots of, there are many. A great one means to be in, a great amount. There are lots of, very widespread. I have explained this to you. What is widespread? Good brain food. What does it mean? A food which is good for your brain. Not a good idea. F have to do with. G became general, became public. H as a matter of fact. Fact means something which is, true, which is based on facts, factual. A poisonous combination. Combination is mixture. The best single food. One food which is considered to be the best. Right, class, you're going to explain each expression as used in the passage, and this your work will be done on your notebooks, right? A is fall in love, to make someone, love someone else. Be a great many, to be, in great quantities, right? Lots of, very widespread. I have explained this to you. Good brain food. E is not a good idea. F have to do with. Have to do with is related to something. G became general. H as a matter of fact. Fact is something which is based on facts, truth, right? I a poisonous combination. Combination means mixture. J the single best food or the best single food. Alright class, you are going to do it on your notebooks. Alright. Exercise A part 1, you will do it on your understand and communicate book number 2. Draw a line and then you are going to give the answers. And then exercise number 2, you have to explain each expression. This will be done on your notebooks. So class, let me tell you one, yeah, before moving further, that words meanings will be done on your notebooks. I have provided you with the words meanings. You are going to write the words meanings on your notebooks, and then you are going to do exercise A on the book, and then part 2 you are going to do on your notebooks. Now let's move on to exercise B. This you will do on your book, on your understand and communicate book number 2. The writer thinks that cannibalism may have started from the belief. So, a writer has given his views that how was cannibalism started, how cannibalism, uh, became, a habit, or, took root, or formed its basis. How did it? A. That it was brave to eat one's enemies. B. That one would be brave if one ate enemies who were brave. C. That one would have magical powers if one ate enemies who were brave. D. That one would be fleet. No, would be fleet like the deer if one ate deer meat. So we are talking about cannibalism here, right? Cannibalism, how did it started, how did it take root, how it formed its basis? The answer is B. That one would be brave if one ate enemies who were brave. Answer is B. That one would be brave if one ate enemies who were brave. So where is it mentioned? Let's read on here. Now, cannibals believe that eating enemies that had shown bravery in battle would make them brave. Cannibalism may have started because people were eager to become as strong and brave as their enemies, right? So, B is the best answer for it. Number two, why would some people be surprised if they knew that soldiers in World War II were supplied with tinned tomatoes? A. They believe that tomatoes would make people pretty, or they believe that tomatoes would improve one's memory. C. They believe that tomatoes were poisonous, or D. They believe that tomatoes had magical powers. It's very easy. I've explained this to you. Please try to find out yourself. 3. One modern food fallacy is that fish is the only good brain food, only good as a brain food, no better for the brain than any other kind of food, better for the brain than any other kind of food. So let's move back. Fallacy about the fish. Do you find it here? Yes, dear, come to your fourth paragraph. One such idea is that fish is the best brain food. Alright, I have given you a hint, do it yourself. 4. It is fallacious to think that water should not be drunk with meals because water fallacious is a mistaken belief, a wrong idea. Because water A is a good substitute for chewing. Do you think it is true? B. Goes well with food. C. Helps in the digestion of food. Or D. Is an essential liquid for the body. So please try to find out yourself. Alright, class. This is your homework for today. Please remember that you're going to do the first one on the book, second will be done on notebooks, and part B, third exercise, will be done on your books. You're going to circle or tick the correct answer, right? Alright, class, don't forget to write the words meanings on your books as well. This is your homework for today. Please do all three exercises. I have made it very easy for you. Alright, class, Allah Hafiz. Wish you all the very best.